Hi everyone, today we have a Gulalek. She has transformed her career from a different background into the IT. Gulalek, not everyone is lucky like you, getting a job, and settling down in the United States with a great job. First of all, can you briefly tell about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Gulalek. Thanks, first of all, for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be here after 2 years of graduation. Uh, my background is I've been living in US for 6 years now. When I started, it was 3.5 years. Um, I I didn't have any idea of what IT was. I mean, people recommend. Well, I was looking for some good education. I was thinking to become a doctor. I was like, oh, am I ready to become a doctor for, I don't know, 9 years, 11 years, depends on how you progress in it. And I needed to move faster because, I don't know, something pushed me from my inside that you have to start with something. And I had a couple of friends who offered me go and study this field because we studied and we found the jobs. And I was like, I don't know. I don't have any knowledge in anything, and I was so confused where to go. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with where I am now, and it's actual real experience that I've witnessed you can achieve in short period to a big goals.
How did you find out about the Mindtek? People who recommended you, right? You came here, but what made you believe in Mindtek?
Oh, I haven't done much of research, but my friends studied in different schools. Everyone has different backgrounds, and first thing who recommend this a friend who never studied, but he's heard from other people that your school is great. You're a pretty professional, educated person. And he's like, also, he's from Turkmenistan. Do you want to support? I'm like, of course I want to. And that's how I came here.
Very good. When you came, when you were studying in Mindtek, what was your expectations? What you were thinking of the first classes?
Oh my God, Aslan, your first class. I can't imagine how that was. I was panicking. I was behind everyone. Stop, Aslan, please stop, 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 everywhere. And I was like, I can't find because I didn't have any computer skills in the past. Um, but yeah, I was like, first day when we wrote that Hello World, I was like, wow, I can actually order to AI. That's such impressive thing. But yeah, I really liked it.
What was that experience, studying experience?
It was great. Every day was different than yesterday, and every day we learn more. Um, every day you grow and look at your yesterday or a week before, and you can already solve the codes that you have been struggling from last couple of weeks. And I was like, how was I this not knowledgeable to not solve it within short period? There was times that I used to stay for 2 hours in just one short code. I can't figure this out. I can't figure this out. One day, even we were talking with our other classmates and sitting with him with 2 hours. And I was like, no, I'm done. I can't do it. And I have to do my assignment. I can't do it. I went, grabbed a cup of water. I came back. It's not even 3 seconds that I solved it. So sometimes you got to just get up and refresh your mind with something else so you're not over tiring yourself. But it works out. I really like the everyday progress that I've been seeing. And every day you look a day back and you say, I'm better than yesterday. And this was actually easy that I couldn't solve.
Were there times that you were thinking, hey, that's all. I'm dropping this, and I'm not gonna go to the next step because I know studying this was not easy for you. But how did you, if there was this kind of situation, how did you overcome them?
All right. So the situation was the end of the second month of school. Either I was sick. For some reason, I couldn't attend one day. Just I skipped one class because I was actually really having issues with something. And the next day I came without repeating what you taught us. And I started losing. I was like, wow, one day can affect this much to me. And now I feel so behind of everyone else because for 3 hours you can cover lots of things and additional after work, after school hours you can work and stuff. So all over just one day affected me so much, and I couldn't catch up with it about for 2 weeks. I think it was work issues, health issues, and other issues overall. I was about to give up, like, oh, I can't do it. I think I should start over. So I'm caught up. So I dedicated 1 day or 2 days to catch up with everything, redo some exercise that I did.
What happened at the end? How you were able to get a job?
Oh, you know my story. I had applied every day, 15, 20 companies at 6 a.m. in the morning, sometimes because I was too tired because I was studying till the end of the day to make it faster. And in the mornings, it was harder to wake up. And I was like still with one open eye, was applying and applying. In the beginning, it might upset you that you don't get calls, but you also got to understand that recruiters are not only waiting for you. Market is big, but you never give up. You keep applying. Maybe your resume is not matching. Maybe your confidence when the recruiter is calling you, maybe that's not matching, but you gain it by time. Like every interview gives you one lesson. Like even though it's before interview, every phone call with HR gives you one lesson.
What
And
was the one of the lessons that you learned that you still remember?
just be confident. Because recruiters actually don't know what your job actually requires. They have just list of things that they go through only when they call you. And they keep forgetting about it. And every time, be confident that pretend that you're better than them, better than what they know about your job. And you know about your job, and just keep talking whatever you have learned at the school.
The interview you had, right? And you got a job. How was that? So how did you handle that interview?
The current job that I got, the first interview, it was pretty funny that they said that someone is going to interview me, and then totally different person ended up interviewing me. They said it's going to be 30 minutes of coding. It was 7 minutes, the first interview. And 5 minutes, I introduced myself, where I came from, and everything, what are my skills, to satisfy that person. And then I expected him to start giving questions. And he's like, okay, we can close this interview. Once he said that, I was like, okay, this is not going to work. So let me actually pretend to give him back question. Like, how is your team culture? How is your sprint plannings are going? Are they agile or some Kanban or something different? Just asked about their team, and it took 2 minutes more. And 7 minutes, that was the end. I was like, okay, I called my friend who was already working in this career on a different company. I was like, I told you, it's not going to work. And then she's like, oh, it's okay. You just gained the practice. Maybe they didn't need, and maybe they found someone else. And within 2 or 3 hours, recruiter was calling me. I don't know how you did it, but good job. Do you want to get the second interview? I was like, sure.
Okay, wow. So 7 minutes interview, right?
The first interview.
And you were thinking that you failed because it was so short. That's supposed to be in 30 minutes. You need 7 minutes.
Right?
And after a couple of hours, they call you and tell you, you got a next round.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I think in that case? What happened? The recruiters they don't only look for your technical skills. They look what person you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they like that person from the beginning, they say, we can train this person. Because I liked first 2 minutes of this interview, how she introduced herself. And, because the first 2 minutes of the interview is one of the very important part of the interview. So right there, they mostly make a decision already.
Right.
If you are going to the next step or not. In the middle of the interview, they will ask you technical questions, but most of them looking to your personality. That's what I think what happened, but I don't know what happened with the second round of interview.
The second round was the same guy. I mean, that guy actually ended up being my manager.
Mm-hmm.
So the same guy, the recruiter said, be very ready for database testing. Like they're gonna ask you API and database. They're not interested in UI. I was like, okay, a day in advance, I prepared all day, everything about SQL, all the rules and stuff. The interview went an hour full with no skills, only the logical questions. And that was my weakness. I was better at coding than logical because, I don't know, it was something you have to be really thoughtful of their questions, not of you learned, right? Also, you shouldn't be worried, oh, I might be telling them wrong, because each company has their testings differently, database differently, their strategies are differently. So there's no, like, there's one answer and I got it wrong. There's nothing like that. So it went an hour of just talking about the backend logic and API mostly, and also database, yes. But they didn't ask me, can you combine the tables or anything like that. They just asked me, what would you do? How would you act? And I was just smiling, and if I don't understand the question, I was like, can you repeat please, or can you elaborate please, so I get it right, the situation that he was trying to explain me. And then at the end of an hour of just speaking, that guy said, oh, it was a funny interview. And then they turned it off. I was like, probably he didn't believe in me. Probably I screwed up somewhere that I don't know. And it's not even 13 minutes. I was waiting. The recruiter said, good job. You got the job. And do you want to go to the third interview? I was like, wow, sure. I mean, but manager said, that guy said that it was a funny interview. I don't know why he found it funny. And then she said, okay, I'll talk to him. And she got back to me saying, oh, he liked the interview. It was a fun interview and I got him wrong. Okay. I was like, wow, that's cool. So I've impressed him.
They want you to be ready for any interview, right? Technical or just general questions about the application, how it works. What happened with the next round?
The next round, they said, this is going to be Thursday, which is the next day of that day. And then they said, oh, one guy ended up going to vacation or sick leave. And then they said, manager said, you know what? We don't need this interview. We're going to give you a job offer. They sent me the application within an hour and I filled it. They accepted it within 2 hours. So that was one day of following everything.
Wow. So they didn't do even the third round, right?
Right.
Wow. Great. So then you got a job. You started working for them. That's great. So tell us, what was your first days of your job?
So I got the hybrid job, 3 days in office and 2 days. Even though that time it was not everyone was coming to the office. Since I'm a new person, I wanted to impress everyone. Was coming 3 days a week as no one. It was good. I was saying hi to everyone, always smiley to impress. I mean, my team was really good. I'm pretty lucky with them. They guided, well, actual KD sessions, knowledge transferring sessions were not that good. But they were patient with the design, because our project is huge microservices. And we're working with 36 microservices. And out of those, 16 I'm actually working with. And they were patient, but whenever you pinged anyone, the team was helping. I really enjoyed the vibe of office rather than sitting home. Because at home, you don't feel like you're working. You're just in front of computer and repeating the same things after school. But at work, you're seeing people and getting impressed by their knowledge when they speak professionally. And such kind of things, like, it helps you a lot of improving your professional skills, soft skills, knowledge skills, language knowledge also.
How is it in the office? Like, what do you have there? Like, can you describe the office of the IT offices? Like, people want to know about it.
It's dedicated offices that everyone has their own spaces. It really depends on people, but I have my own space that I can sit. Also, some teams are working together. So some questions, instead of pinging on Teams or email. You can just talk to next person and get it solved right away. Because everyone is busy. If you ping them, they might respond you within 30 minutes, hour, depends how the other person is busy. But office is I go there because I love socializing. Also, we have lots of events in the office, like, I don't know, lots of events, project events, just cheering up events. Or after office, you can meet up and learn more personal stuff and get idea of how to grow from other people, how they're approaching, and build that strong work relationship with them instead of just sitting at home, opening Zoom, hey, hello, turning it off. And when they just question you, you respond. I don't like just sitting at home and working.
What you used to do before the IT, before you joined the Mindtek?
I was a nail technician.
Nail.
I was working in the salon. I was working in one salon, but 6 days a week. We were always chasing for bonuses and stuff, or customers, and working with customers, not for everyone. You have to be really patient, tolerant with different types of people. Also socializing, because even though doesn't matter how good person you are, but if you don't socialize, customers always want to socialize. Everyone has, at the end of the day, different days, like someone is tired, someone is moody, or something like that. So it was sometimes, if you're moody and the customers are moody, they know that was really hard to deal with. So yeah, I love working isolated, but at the same time socializing with people.
One of the biggest things in the work, in the business, you should communicate with the people, and you should know how to communicate with the people. That's the biggest thing. And being a nail technician, going to the IT engineer, like how would you differentiate these two lifestyles?
Life balance, personal life balance. I'm an early bird. I love waking up early and going to bed early. 10 p.m. is max. That's it. And I wake up early. I finish my work till 4, 5. You can finish even at 3, but just for the sake of other coworkers, to be respectful, I can wait till 3:30 or 4. I can leave the job. No one is chasing for you that you didn't get it, or as long as you get your job done, no one touches. And be respectful to other people as well. But yeah, I mean, really good life. I mean, I also like the work from home. 2 days is a good balance to do the laundry during work hours in your lunchtime. And on weekends, you don't need to worry about those little stuff. And then after work hours, you can go after 4, 5 a.m., especially in summer. We have other alumni from Mindtek. We basically go with her for a walk downtown. Or also we meet up with her. Well, our spaces, lunchtime is outside. They build us really good space for having outside lunch. So you can go with friends, or you can invite friends downtown and go right away after work, and you kill with one shoot 2 rabbits. Is that the case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you done your job in downtown, and you invite and saw your friend, and you go home in one drive. That's it.
Wow, that's great. So as a person, how did you grow up as a person when you started your IT career? So did you change something in yourself?
Right. I did. There are lots of changes because of the work balance. I started going to rock climbing once or twice a month, and I'm doing it really great now. I'm very proud of what I've achieved so far. I'm doing 3 to 4 times a day CrossFit. That's also giving me not only the life or activity, it's giving me a lot of better health than I had in the past. Also lots of motivation to be fit. Also, you see different types of people over there, and then you get motivation from them. Oh, I want to become like that person. I want to become like him, her. Except for that, I started last year doing drive range, which is also another activity. I love activities. I do a lot of hiking. Lots of personal time to myself, go to salons when I want to for women's stuff. But yeah,
Good. And how do you keep yourself updated?
learning. It might sound it's hard to work and learn at the same time, but your coworkers are your first impressions. I think you can ask your developers, hey, I want to grow a little bit. I want to learn, for example, this language or that language. What do you think I should study, or how do you have any methods that you've done in the past? Coworkers, you also can have such kind of educations online. I think, yeah, coworkers, you can ask them. We also have in our company branches that they have like every 3 months, different types of 8 or 6 lists of different educations you can go and study. I got last year AWS certificate, but I am also thinking of this year getting another one. Also maybe start growing either for promotion or for better opportunities.
How did you push yourself to do all these things? I know you came from nail technician, and became a software development engineering test, but how you pushed yourself, what kept you going to transform this career?
Passion and no second other option. Like, when I say it's not because I didn't have other options, you have to have self-discipline. If I don't study this, then I can't study anything. You should put yourself in one direction and go with it. Because if you're looking for multiple things at the same time, they're going to confuse you and you're going to end up not doing any of them, or half of it maximum that you're going to do. And that kind of thing, if I start one thing, I love to go on that direction first. And if I want to try another one, finish one first really well and then try the other one. I know you want to be in time and not behind of anyone, but that's not going to work for everyone. I know there are some people who are capable of doing simultaneously 2 or 3 things, but it really depends on a person too.
When you say passion, I think your passion was not to become a software engineer, right? Because you didn't even know what you are getting into. But when you say passion, what do you mean?
Passion, I had a passion. This is the honest thing. When I was driving every day to the salon, I was like 40 minutes, 50 minutes of driving downtown just for 11, 12 miles. And seeing other cars who has more expensive cars than mine, or who had really good looking office clothes. I was like, oh man, I really want to become one of those, but how? Like, I couldn't picture that at all. I want to become, maybe it will take at least 4 years of school and then maybe start growing by your whatever career you get by your school. Guess what? Exactly after a year, I'm driving in such clothes to the office. I'm like, wow, this is becoming so fast if you really work. So I think my passion was to be able to work in that suit, in those buildings.
Sometimes we need to at least dream, right?
Yeah.
For the good things, not to just, say ourselves, demotivate ourselves saying it's not possible.
Yeah.
When I used to be an Uber driver, I used to drive through these beautiful buildings, skyscrapers in downtown, thinking how I'm gonna get there, right? So it takes me a lot of years of studies, a lot of experience I need to get in there. But the thing is, we were dreaming, right? And that's how it happened. So that's the case.
For me, like, it was impossible. What kind of people get these jobs? Like, what kind of process they go through? I had zero idea in my mind.
Good. Any other things that you want to share, thinking that's the thing, I want to share with the audience? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, keep growing. Once you started, never imagine this. There's bridge broken. You can't go back. You can't go to the other side back. Bridge broken, just keep going with whatever path you have and you'll get it. Definitely. The same at work. Not every work is perfect for you, just comes to you easily and you can work without any problems. No, you get a job, it's still continuing. You gotta learn socializing. You gotta learn to be a good team player. It doesn't only about the knowledge. It's about your personality, about your care of your job. And be on time. Be truthful to yourself. That's what I see on myself, and I would recommend to everyone.
Okay, so we always say, go with the one path, don't look back, even it's hard. We always keep saying that, right? But let's say it doesn't work for someone, it doesn't, anyhow, the person studies for IT. There are some people, like they study, but still don't get anything, don't understand anything. How do you think they should do these things? Should they give up, saying, hey, I don't want to do this anymore?
No, I don't think. There's always solutions, but I don't think they should give up. The first problem is we don't know the problem. What's causing it? It's not because you can't study it. It's because you have something in your mind that's blocking you from studying. And you don't want to accept that problem. Open that problem, accept it. This is a problem. Okay, now think of how do I want to resolve it? Do I want to resolve it first of all? Yes. How? Resolve it, then it's not only at school, right? Just first find your problem. If something is blocker for you, or if you don't want to do that, there is a problem that you don't want to accept in yourself, that you should be definitely finding it and accepting if you want to accept it as your problem or no, and then if you want to work on it or no. I think that it first of all comes from yourself. That's my thought.
And when you say you gotta be a good team player, that's caught my attention. When you say that, what do you mean, like a good team player? Who is a good team player? What does that person do?
So even though like we are now software development engineers in test, right? You have DevOps in your team. You have developers who has less skills, more skills. There are some people who want to show off their skills more than you. And some kind of people can be rude or they might not have professional speech. First thing, don't get upset. It's life and it's not only about your team. You have to be a good team player everywhere, with your friends, with your family, with your relatives. Don't pay attention too much. Take it easy. If that's going to get too deep, then go to your Scrum Master if you have one, to your managers, the situation. But first thing, try to talk to that person instead of spreading it out. It's really not a nice thing to spread out the situation to other people and then put them in not nice situation too, right? Because it's going to change their mind about that person. Maybe that person is kind to them. So I think, don't take everything seriously into yourself. Try to resolve within that person if you have any issues. Good team player is be on time. Appreciate if someone helps you in the team. Call it out in the calls. This person helped me a lot. Thank you for that. And I kept working on it or something like that. Show up on your meetings. I think, get your job done on time and that's it. That you are a good team player in that case.
We should open some classes, be a good team player class, right? And I think we gotta do a couple of trainings for people who is joining to the IT industry. Because IT is not all about just coding. People think you will code every day, that's what you are doing. That's not about it. 90% of the time you are communicating, you're talking, you're working with your teammates. And the rest of the 10%, I will say you may be doing coding, you're actually doing the job. We gotta know how to be a good team player.
All right.
Good idea. So I think we will implement
Let's get a class.
good team player class, yeah. What would you advise a person who thinking of changing their careers or do some big changes in their life, what going to be your advice?
If one thought comes to your head, until you kill it, it will kill you. Means until you achieve that goal, it's going to keep being in your brain. It's gonna distract you in every situation that you see, when you see successful people in that area or in this area. Oh, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that. You're always gonna keep thinking of it. It will kill one day by day one of your nerve. Just keep thinking of it. Either you kill it studying, doing research, going that field, and then you don't need to worry about it. Or it's gonna keep coming to your mind always.
Good quote. So I will say attack your fears, right? Which means like you have some fear on doing something. For me, one of the biggest fear was like talk to the public, right? Do a public speaking, teaching. That was my biggest fear ever in the classes when I was studying in my school years, like at high school. I never could go in front of the class and talk to the people. I was so shy. And the thing is, when I started the school business, then I gotta do that, right? And I started doing it time by time. I started loving it. So the thing is, the thing that tried to kill me, I killed it first, right? So
Right.
Everyone should do the same. If you're scared of doing something, then you gotta go and do that.